my friends, we are presenting today the new moon video for June 10th, and it's the new moon of Loves All Things, the 7th moon. And on our chart here, right where this finger is, this is where we are on the chart. It's the 7th full moon, just before summer solstice. So we are coming up to halfway through our year on the wheel. So this grandmother loves all things. She is the mother of unconditional love and all acts of pleasure. She is the keeper of sexual wisdom and self-respect, the sensual lover, the mother nurturer, the warmth of the feminine. She is the guardian of the needs of family, and she teaches us how to use respect, trust, and intimacy in all relationships. How to love all aspects of our lives, lessons, sexuality, and physical beings. How to be a loving woman or loving man, nurturing, sensual, and trusted friend. She teaches us how to forgive ourselves and others, developing acceptance and shunning criticalness. She teaches us how to love the truth. My grandmother referred to her slightly differently. Whether this was an Algonquin difference, I don't know, but it was she who finds love in all things, meaning to go the extra mile to find the good in someone or something, recognizing that we are all on this web of life together. And you don't have to like everyone. You can keep them off your side of the sacred web, but you need to love them from a distance. For in loving them, you are showing love for yourself. We are all equal. So her emergence as a new moon is at 6:52 a.m. And it's at exactly that time that we have something called an annular solar eclipse. Now this is a full eclipse. So we had an eclipse a couple weeks ago, the full moon, and now we have a dark moon eclipse. Now the thing with this is it's a full eclipse, but the moon is in apogee, meaning it's far away. So as it sits itself in front of the sun, you're going to see a halo of light. Kind of like the aura, if you will, or if you see religious paintings from the Middle Ages and you see the sacred people with an aura around them. That is the bringing in of the light. This is showing the beautiful transcendent aspect of their transpersonal chakras. So liken this, if you will, to the glowing inner divinity of our moon. Now this is a new moon in Gemini, and the eclipse is in Gemini. So it can feel all over the map. You know, Gemini, the twins. One twin has got 15 tabs open and 6 emails half done, and they've got music on and phones are ringing, and it can feel all over the map. Nothing is being attended to, but there's a lot of things to attend to. Gemini also is a little bit like Libra, and I say that it wants to get things in balance because of this annular solar eclipse new moon. So by the time we're all getting up and having that first cup of coffee, we're in that space of this, trying to get it all together. And part of the consequence of this, if we let it overtake us, if we're not thoughtfully prepared, is that this particular eclipse new moon could cause us to scatter and not know what to do, kind of turn inward and shut down. But if you're prepared for it, what you do is you take that extra siesta, you unplug, or not unplug your phone, that's very old-timey of me, but you turn off the phone and you disengage long enough to turn inward and connect with love's all things. So what is it that you need to place your energies of love into? And I'm talking about in your day-to-day life. Now, before the full moon on June 24th, we also have summer solstice, which comes in on June 20th at 11:32 p.m. So it's a little bit of an early solstice. So we've got an increase of energies as we moved between now with the new moon and then again the full moon, which is another full moon in perigee. So this is an auspicious 2 weeks, and I would be remiss, coming as I live in Ontario, in pointing out that Friday, as things start to open up, our energies and sense of connection starts to bubble up, and we have to make sure the pot doesn't boil over and get too excited about this. So part of our preparation with this new moon is preparing how exactly are we going to manifest this emergence. So I pulled the cards, and I'm going to ask Brian now to switch over and allow us to have a look at the cards. So I've pulled cards from several decks, the Naked Heart, because it has much of the iconography here of Indigenous dotems and Indigenous thinking. It's a beautiful deck. I've also pulled the cards in support of it from the Antiquities of Magic. I've used my beloved, much beloved, well-used Judith Pintar deck. And I've also pulled some from the new Shamanic Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid and Dr. Alberto Vaioldo. Sometimes when I pull the cards, it's very much like a cringe, like, oh dear, how do I put this into a context that isn't going to frighten people? But in today's particular message, it's extremely a beautiful message. So starting here in the East, where we still are on the wheel, don't be thrown off by the fact that we have the Death card. The Death card here is signifying the end of a cycle. Well, yes, the pandemic is coming to an end. Actually, more quickly than I expected with my understanding of historic pandemics. But this is coming to an end, and we are looking at the moons here. We are looking at making something beautiful. It's a new beginning. The end of one thing is the beginning of another. So the card that covers it in support of it is pillars. We are building pillars, pillars of support. And that's really important, because we need to know that we can't be complacent here. We must allow, these pillars clarify that we are building foundations. If you try to build a house with a rotten, yucky, improperly thought out foundation, the house will never stand. So we need to incorporate pillars here. We're building a new paradigm. Moving to the south on the wheel, well, of course, as we open up again after the pandemic, the Three of Cups signals the fact that we can get together and play and be jolly. It's an emotionally very positive time. And it's a heart. The heart card clarifies that we are able to come in together again. I mean, we still have to, social distance and things for a few weeks, and that's okay because we are coming together. At least they can have hugs and such in the nursing homes. So this period is really the next 2 weeks coming up to the full moon. So as we move toward what sits in the west, what is it we're looking at from a mature place? Well, we've got the Heart of Cups, which is the same thing as the Queen of Cups. And she's delivering to us as she looks across. She is looking across the board here. She's assessing, and you couldn't have a more beautiful reading. She's assessing because we have transcendence here. The clarifier for that is butterfly. Emergence, transcendence. We are transcending the pandemic, and we can do so beautifully or with chaos, but she's telling us this is not going to be chaotic. So as we move to the north of the wheel, this is very interesting. We have the universe. That's what we're making. We're entering in this age of Aquarius, the universe. This is everything. This card replaces the world card in this particular deck. And the pomegranate is a card of joy, of nourishment, of taking good care of ourselves. I love that this couldn't have come out better had I hand-picked cards, and I would never do that from a place of intuitive integrity. So looking through the middle here at our kids in the middle, we've got the Earth card. So who's looking back at the Heart of Cups? This dinosaur. Transcendence. We are evolving. We are evolving from a frozen state of an old way, a very old dinosaur way, through a time of stillness. We've had a time of stillness into incarnation, new life, and we're shedding the skins. This is what we also have to do in this next 2 weeks. We have to look at what we need to let go of to calm this Gemini solar eclipse, this dark moon, this introspective shadow self. What do we need to give up to move forward? We do need to sit in stillness tomorrow and possibly the next day. We are incarnating again, and we are shedding and transcending. This is also in this lineup here with this card. So out with the old and in with the new. This is quite incredible. So the ancestor cards that I've picked, the first one is Caterpillar, Opportunity. And this opportunity card is very much what happens. I mean, the caterpillar doesn't know when it feels the urge to go into its cocoon that it's just going to turn into a big soup of genetic goo and come out as a butterfly, or whatever it's going to be, a moth, something with wings. It just knows it has to do it. We don't know what the outcome of this time is. We just know that we have to do it. There is no going back. We have to be as the hollow bone. And this is bone medicine. The bone medicine teaches us that the hollow bone is teachable. We can turn the hollow bone into anything, a tool, a conduit of change, a flute, but it is our teachability. We need to allow others to give us information that we might not have thought of about how the new world order is going to be. This is a card we had last time, First Breath. We need to adopt this energy of coming out of the pandemic, but the energy of loves all things with the first breath, with beginner's mind, as if we are being born. This is the signal that this card is telling us. We are being born again into a new cycle. We are coming out of the cosmic womb. We are incorporating as a culture, as a species, the reintegration of the feminine. So, that's a most astounding, a most astonishing set of cards. And it makes me feel very positive for this time of Loves All Things. We are loved. The universe loves us. This creation that is the unconsciousness or the collective consciousness or the divine consciousness, this field of all possibilities from which every thought we have emerges into something new. We are loved, and we just need to remember that and remember to express and expand that love by loving each other, loving all things, including the trees, including the rocks, including the animals. Some of the stones you might want to consider for this new moon include things like Mexican fluorite, dark gold citrine, apophyllite, clear quartz, purple rainbow fluorite, blue sapphire, lapis lazuli, rough diamond, garnets, and iolite. So, or lavender quartz. Those are some of the stones to use at this time. So I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I will thank you for your time with us today and wish you a wonderful incubation as we birth out of this cosmic womb. Miigwech, Nyawen.